Welcome back to Renowned Explorers. I've turned the audio up a little bit, so apologies if this is significantly louder than the previous one, but some people commented that the volume levels on the last episode wasn't quite high enough. So last time we lost in my second playthrough of the game on the second expedition. Since then, I've actually played it a little bit more and I've unlocked a number of characters, as you can see here. More characters are able to be captains now, and I know the game a little bit more, so hopefully we have a more successful run. Today we're going to be going with Emilia, who is one of the scientists. I'm also going to bring Earl Shanty, who is actually, whoops, want to do him as a crew member, who's a little bit of an eccentric apparently, and I seem to recall that he has a couple of unique events. And I'm also going to take one of the scouts. I believe it was Panero that I wanted to try. Because he has a very interesting skill here. The skill that's not locked here, but he can actually like teleport behind enemies and damage them. So I thought that was pretty cool. So let's start the adventure. So one of the things you might be considering when you're playing this game is getting different kinds of characters as opposed to putting all your eggs in one basket. But with the way the research works, some of the trees actually will give bonuses to specific kinds of characters. So if you were to go with 3 scientists, for example, and you take the science tree, the benefits will get in all 3 of them. So it does make you less versatile while doing an expedition, but more efficient in some of those places. Another thing I discovered is that on every single island, there's actually a tile that has no icons, but will actually contain a special token. So here we'll just take the benefits, since most of my percentages were really low there. Going to skip over the supplies for now, since I want to use my supplies a little bit first and come back and pick that up. The farmer wants some help. In games, I generally like being nice, just because. But if we look at this from an abstract basis of, do we want some supplies? So let's take some of his harvest and run. Poor farmer. Oh, we did get some money too. So let's go this way, and then we're going to come back around this way. This will get us some status here. While scouting the area, a goofy looking man comes running up to you. Are you, by any chance, renowned explorers? You see, I'm kind of a big deal here, and I would love to travel with them and be part of their entourage. Well, that's great. We will take it. So he's a campaign lobbyist. And if I recall correctly, yes, it is status from campaigns. So these tokens here, the campaign tokens, will generate more status now. We have 2 scientists, so hopefully this goes well for us. Oh, okay. That wasn't an actual challenge. So we got a couple tokens. Pick up some status here, as well as a study token. Very nice. An abandoned farm, overgrown with vegetables and even fruit trees. Well, that's really nice. Gives us 5. So now we should be able to explore most of the rest of this island, if not all of it. So here, see, the hidden hoard. And you actually get one of the bigger tokens. There is no way to see what these tokens do while in the expedition. And I think they probably should add that into the tooltip so that hey, given your current bonuses, what will you get for this particular token? Since we want to upgrade our scientists, I think on this one, we'll take more to discovery. Which the color coding is here is nice, because you know that the blue is going to be science. Okay, so here there's a path going this way. Here's a treasure. So let's go here first. A broken Viking sword. Ancient Viking battlefield. Emilia imagines a wondrous treasure that is to be found here, not to speak of the fame awaiting you. Let's look for treasure. The crew goes on and starts looking around like true explorers. After 40 minutes or so of investigation, Earl finds something. 40 minutes? That does not seem like a very hidden artifact. I mean, you'd have thought that somebody would have plundered this by now. And I guess he is very excited about this. Although, maybe that's a scared face. Viking Shield, level 2 athlete gain +5 armor. I don't believe I have a character capable of getting athlete, but we might be able to find an item that does it though. So we also got a secret for that, which is also a big token. Let's see, he might be able to get athlete. Survivalist, beguiler, nope. It's unlikely either of these scientists have athlete. Yeah. Archaeologist, yeah. So we may want to pick up an item that gives athlete. There are also helpers that would do that as well. Tactical, beguiler, or thinker might be useful. Let's go this way. Since the naturalist is going to help us a little bit more. You encounter a group of Highlanders sweating and breathing heavily. One of them who calls the others coach speaks. Hey there, we're the local rugby team and we're trying to increase our stamina by jogging. We're about to do some tackle drills. Why didn't you just join us and show us what you got? Well, if I had one of the fighters that might help, but I don't think this is going to work out very well. So we'll just cheer them on from a distance. Let's encounter here. Yes, so let's do that. I forget exactly what this does. +1 study a nature challenge. Yeah, so that was good that I went for the nature challenge. Hehe, look at these wimps. I bet we could wipe them out easily. They're not even worth fighting. Look at my mustache. I'm very strong. So this party is good at winning via friendly. Although in this case, it looks like we get a bonus if we go devious. Which is fine. We can do that. So he has a range of 2 on this. He is also a range of 2, and so is he. So we should take advantage of that. Kill this isolated guy over here. Or damage him rather, and then I'm going to take these 2 over on this side. And the status is actually very helpful. So in this case, he's actually -25 armor. But we want to probably keep on the devious offensive here. If you're playing this game and you wonder what some of the effects do of the mood, you can actually click on here and it will pop up mood basics and actually show you exactly what explains quite a bit of what this does, including a reference page here of the mood reference, and then there's emotions as well for the enraged and terrified and other emotions. But this mood reference will tell you, hey, if you're friendly and the enemy is also friendly, this is what you get, and so on and so forth. So but generally speaking, following this wheel will be good for you. You want to not put yourself in a negative situation. So we will terrify this guy. Oh, a fumble. So that's actually a dodge. Oh, he's hurt a lot. Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. What is his movement? 3. 1, 2, 3. So he can still reach us if I put him over here. Don't really want to lose a resolve this early, so on the other hand, he can also still reach us. Actually, I don't know if there's actually zone of control in this game, so we'll give this a shot. By zone of control, I mean the mechanic in games where if you reach an enemy, you actually have to stop. I don't believe it does. Yeah, he was able to reach him. Oh, lucky. That was super lucky. I shouldn't have left him in a position where he could die like that. But I didn't expect both of those guys to come after him. So I actually ended up with 3 encounter tokens there, so that's pretty nice. And because I ran out of supplies at the end of this particular node, I'm going to have debuff, so Emilia loses some armor here. Um, so this is where I get into trouble because I frequently try and push my luck on these islands. But hey, let's go for it. So Emilia can actually use a special selection here. So she studies it, and we get 2 campaign tokens and 3 studies. And we also ended up losing speech defense. That was probably worth it. The first island is not too difficult, generally speaking, so I'm not going to read all this stuff again. I've read this before. Oh, I don't think I've fought Tommy before. Or maybe I have. I don't remember now. I've played this quite a bit. Okay. So in this case, it doesn't actually matter how you beat him. But the goal is to rout Tommy over there. So I think what we'll do is come around back over here, get as far away from those guys as possible. But I do want to protect him because he is actually very low health. So we can put him right there, and he should be able to finish him off. So hopefully I've blocked him off from the enemies here. Well, that did more damage than I expected. So in this particular stance, we have grit, which is going to mean that our characters have more chance to dodge, so they will fumble and miss more often. The fumble makes it sound like we are actually, the character actually screwed it up himself, but as far as I can tell, it's actually your character's grit that determines whether they fumble. So it's just a form of dodge, just like missing. Okay, this is going rather well. Yeah, let me show you my rocket. He wasn't happy about the rocket. And Tommy has a lot of hit points. As you can see in the UI here, the way they have shown the ticks will give you a general idea of how much hit points they have. So these guys have 20 with the tick denoting 10. So these are some of the design tricks you can use, you know, because sometimes you don't want numbers everywhere. In particular, if you just want to see how damage someone's at a glance, this sort of thing helps. I am going to use aggressive here because I want to make sure he dies with this attack. Looks like the devious will going to damage him more, and I could actually check his resistances as well. Yeah, looks like he has a weakness to saddened effects. So this is an enrage effect, so it's not going to do bonus damage. So for him, I'm just going to attack. I like his movement, like looks like he's about to punch you, and then he kicks you instead. Looks like we've changed the mood to our attitude to aggressive. Oh, that hurt quite a bit. So let's get this guy out of there. And devious abilities have 25% power. So even if you're going for a devious victory, sometimes you'll want to switch the mood a little bit temporarily to increase the power of your effects. Victory! Get our couple tokens, and we have completed this particular expedition. And now we are just gonna look at the treasure map. As far as I can tell, this doesn't actually matter all that much, what you select. And then we'll get our treasure. Nordic bracelet, 6 campaign tokens, 2 collect tokens. So I think this was fairly successful. We actually picked up the the hidden hoard, as well as got an extra treasure. Probably not the best run you can have on the first edition, but pretty successful. So now we're going to go back to town and spend our tokens, uh, after which I'll end this episode and we'll continue in the next episode. So, good amount of status there. And we're going to get a token that increases supply. This is a rather nice way of keeping the first expedition relatively short compared to the others, especially for a new player learning the game. And then now they give you more supply so you can explore the larger expeditions. Do we want more speech defense or speech defense and speech? I think we're probably going to be lacking in offense, so let's go with the more offensive version. And now she also gets an AE heal, which also works off speech, so that's probably a good idea that we did that. And he can pick up more survivalist training or beguiler. Let's get him diversified a little bit. And here it also shows you what it will be once you click unlock. And Shanty, we already have a survivalist, so let's keep you going on the engineer track. And now he gets an AE attack, which is really good. It actually gains power when it's not on cooldown until you do use it. So let's go spend some research points. So the one I was talking about that upgrades your scientist is sciences. So you can see here that if you unlock all the trees here, scientists get an extra trinket slot. In the meantime, we should spend some on these basic ones because it is going to help us with our progress. So let me check out what the study jobs will give us. 221. Okay, so let's get more from the insight. And then we'll also pick this up so when we're upgrading stuff later, it doesn't take as much status. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's go into this. 4 tokens now. So Emilia is going to go teach at Berlin University and tell the people about our incredible adventures, picking us up a lot more science here. All the way to 79 now. So yeah, let's unlock this, and I think it's gonna go to 50 next, so I couldn't quite get to feed rations. Yeah, I need another 20 or 11. So perhaps I should have went the other way. Oh, I think I actually did that wrong, in the wrong order. I should have picked up some students first so we could get a few more research, but it wouldn't have given us enough anyway. But still, kind of didn't do that quite in the right order. But in the meantime, we'll still pick up those 2 guys. What are our specialists like here? Gain an extra study if you resolve counter with devious, which we are actually doing quite a bit, it looks like. So, and our study tokens are worth more of the students as well as our research tree selection. So I think this might be a good idea. We can also upgrade this shop to unlock new specialists. We're going to pick this up when we have enough status, probably after the next particular one. I think these 2 guys are not very useful for us. In the meantime, let's pick up the journalist and the trader. We have enough, we don't, but both of these are really useful. Okay, and we have some items to buy. So this is going to give more survivalist perks. I believe he does not start with navigation, so we could pick that up. We did want to try and get the athlete perk. I don't think anything here does it though. Let's upgrade this shop and see what else there is here. So we can get a translation guide, getting diplomat. All exciting abilities gain plus 10 speech power. Machete. Oh, there's the athlete perk. So if we pick this up and then we still need something else though to get us a second athlete level. So that might not even be very useful. But in general, getting an extra perk uh, from a different class is going to help us. So I am actually going to go with this, and gives attack power as well. So that's going to help him a little bit here. Actually, we'll give it to Earl since his special ability uses attack power. Okay, so we're now ready to go on our second expedition. So I'm going to put a cut in here and stay tuned for the next episode.